What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another solo Leveling Arise video. It's your boy Payne. Happy Monday. This is pre-recorded from the day before. I want to do a few different things here to remind folks what they should be focusing on, and also talk about the brand new SSR weapon selector that we gave us and what you should be choosing if you are a veteran or a new player, whatever the case may be. Just go over the weapons and what you should choose from the 1 million pre-registration for Jeju Island. So first off, I do want to remind you guys, this hunter preview stuff should all be done by every player because it's going to actually help you get a lot of raid up tickets. They have quite a few units here that you can focus on, and to get there you just got to go to the draw system here, and then you can see right on the right side here there's a hunter preview section. Click on that and it will allow you guys to essentially preview a unit that's out, that has been here all the way into the beginning, and get yourself a ton of free raid up draws. Now I will warn you ahead of time, Akari's took forever. She is so freaking slow. I almost wanted to watch grass grow than do this. This one took the longest. Everything else though at this point has been fairly easy and quick, so make sure you guys are in fact going in here. If you have done some of them, they are retroactive. They will actually give you guys back the raid up tickets if you've done it, which is great. If you haven't, just go in here, grab all these raid up tickets, and they're super easy to get and literally take like 3 to 4 minutes, so don't forget this. All right, so now another thing I want to talk about is, of course, in the mail we did get ourselves the the weapon selector for SJW, and I want to kind of go over that because that was part of the pre-registration of the 1 million that we hit, and that is right here, right? We got ourselves the volume 1, and these are the weapons to choose from. Now, a lot of people have been asking, Payne, what would be your choice? What would be your best choice? So we're going to break down. If you ever want to know what weapons to choose, your best bet is to always go back and check the weapon tier list. But a lot of you guys will want me to go through this a little more thoroughly rather than going through the tier list. So let's talk a little bit about it. The two best weapons in the game still to this point, and the best weapons in the game because they maximize the current meta build of magnifying slashes, which, by the way, is reduced quite a bit in WOBL POS, because I think at a certain point one of those stages reduced the damage of anything that recovers MP. Smart by Netmarble on that one. So there's that situation, but overall the meta still is using magnifying slashes, aka Sonic Stream, the dark version of it, right? So the two best weapons in the game, even without that, have always been the Plum Sword #1 and then the Moon Shadow Daggers #2. These should always be your go-tos. A lot of you guys are going to ask, well, Payne, what would you go with first? I would always do Plum Sword first. It's more universal, and I think that getting Plum Sword to A5 should be everyone's top priority for weapons. I don't think there's an ifs or buts about that one. That should always be it. Now, if you have the A5 and you're a newer player, you want to push Moon Shadow Daggers to A5 next. And then, of course, if you are going to be looking for the next best universal weapon after that, it's going to be the Grimoire. But I would actually suggest going for DKD over Grimoire first. But Grimoire is a fantastic choice as well to get to A5. And you definitely want to get those 3 weapons to A5. So it should go, if you're looking for universal support weapons, it should go Plum Sword, Moon Shadow Daggers, and then A5 Grimoire, or the best DPS weapon in the game still to this point is still going to be Dict. That's right, Demon King Daggers are still the #1 choice for damage dealing moves. Not too far behind a couple other ones like DKLs does fairly well, Demon King Longsword, but not as good as DKD. The new staff does really well, of course. The Wukong staff, that's actually a pretty good one as well too. And then of course, getting yourself something like the Scythe is a big no-no because you already get 2 free copies. You don't need the Scythe. Going for things like the Phoenix Bow, this could be a very smart decision depending on the future of where fire goes, but I feel like we're gonna get a new fire weapon eventually to replace this one. That's just my thoughts on it. So I would kind of avoid the Phoenix Bow, put it in custom, avoid Scatty, of course, avoid Vulcan's dildo, sorry, I meant Satan's dildo, Vulcan's Rage, and then of course Huntsman. There's a better spear for free right now. Stick with the spear. This is a break weapon as well too, so it kind of has some perks, but not overall as good. So your definitely top choices, guys, should be Plum, Moon Shadow, DKD, and Grimoire. Those are the proper choices. All right, now if you're a veteran player and you're like, okay, Payne, what do I do? Where do I push this? Because I have all the weapons to A5. Well, your next step is now getting it to A10, obviously, right? And that's what I'm doing with my account. You guys can see my DKD here is A8 on my free-to-play account. My I chose the Moon Shadow Daggers personally for mine because I have it A9 now. And then, of course, I have the Plum Sword at A10. So those you guys can see that my Grimoire is A7. So that's my free-to-play account. This has, of course, been since release of Global, second day Global, and we're almost 7 months in, right? I mean, if you look at my achievement section here, I've only been playing for 227 days, and I've only done 5,841 summons, right? So, I mean, we're not looking at an insane amount of summons. put that into perspective, right? In terms of how much I've been able to summon here. So those are the best choices for weapons. I don't think you're going to get a better option there. Now, I know a lot of you guys have been asking me to test the ultimate damage as well. I just got it to level 10. I will be doing that testing very soon to see what the difference is between the two of these. From what I've seen, guys, it does do more damage. From my initial review of it, it does do more damage. I just don't know how much more damage it does. So I have to go back and kind of test on a single boss, run both of them at the same time, make sure my precision's maxed out, and then see what the difference is between one and the other, right? So it's going to take a little bit of time, so you'll have to give me that time to do that. But right now, as it stands, it is doing more damage. I just don't know what people were seeing earlier. Maybe there was a patch done. Who knows? I don't even know what the deal is. But this is now my free-to-play account. Just so you guys are, I'm level 96 now, and I've got the official battle tier of 1.1. So we're battle tier 43. Going to be pushing to 44 very soon. And then my goal now as a player, after getting my weapons up to A10, is going to be pushing my supports, one of the main supports to A10 in the draw. So I'm going to be probably waiting for believe it or not, I'll probably be waiting for Meilin here. I may still pull for Thomas to finish him up to A10. That still might be what I'm going to end up doing, just because he's A7 right now, and I do want to push him. I'm still on the fence about Akari, so I'm waiting because I have a lot of time for Thomas to decide on that. I'm not in a rush. I'm not making any rash decisions. I want to be patient. I want to make sure that I make the right decision before anything happens here. So it's important, guys, to make sure you kind of give yourself that time to be patient and figure out. Now, as for weapons, there's no need for patience. We know what the best weapons are. We've done a ton of testing. They've been around forever. The OG weapons are still going to be the best weapons in the game, so there's nothing for you to worry about. Definitely stick with Plum, Moonshadow, DKD, Grimoire. Best choices. Again, try to get Plum to A5. I think that's still going to be your best bet. Then push Moonshadow Daggers to A5. That's your next best bet. Try to get those to A5, right? As quick as you possibly can. And Plum will make it as the most impactful one out of all of them. And I think that's always been the case. I don't know if there's going to be anything that's ever going to replace the Plum Sword. There may be. But as it stands right now, nothing comes close to it. It's still the best support weapon in the game. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. God, probably for a long time. All right, for a long time. I also know a lot of you guys have been asking me for Army of Shadows, guys. Again, I will do that. I just got my Beru to Elite Knight. I'm off by a little bit here in regards to completing to General, right? I'm going to start farming a couple of these. He's going to definitely be my first General. I think he's absolutely worth it. Igris will never be replaced because of that crit rate. It's just way too important. If you push him to General, you're also not making a bad decision. The biggest difference, though, and I'll talk more about this in a separate video, is that Beru comes with a couple different perks, right? That you normally won't get from anyone else. So number one, going to General won't affect this, but he does give you a heal, right? A little bit of a heal there. But he also has this punishment here, which is great. For 20 seconds, you do 5% more damage, and it does stack with Cerberus. And again, I wanted to mention this before. A lot of people are asking about Cerberus' newest skill. From what people have told me who have tested it, this does not stack with the other combustion. It's just a replacement. So in case you missed the first combustion, this one just replaces it. It's not a doubled 5%. You're not getting 10%. You're just getting the 5%, whichever one lands first. Okay, so it's just a backup combustion in case your first one misses. Looks like he's vomiting here because somebody gave the poor dog some chocolate. But there you guys go. So that is what you should be choosing for your weapons. Hopefully that helps a lot of you guys. If you have any questions or comments, leave it in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.